Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today I thought we would decorate this little piece of ephemera that goes into our sewing journal. So it's just been kind of floating around, and I finally decided today is the day. And I need to get something done to it because it's making me crazy. So let me get this. I've tried everything. I've tried putting things on it. I've tried, other stuff. And then I just decided it needs some stamping. It needs a couple of stencils. And I think that's going to make me happy. But, but you know how that works. So I'm getting my brush. I want to make sure my cereal bag is flat, though. I've got out some stamps. I've got out a stencil. Oh, my bag's torn. So let's put that tear over here out of the way. I've got my vintage photo oxide. I've got my little makeup brush. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to do some stenciling. Now, I don't want to get anything on here. Now, if you'll remember when we made this, this is just from an old envelope. So it's nothing really major. And if I get something on it, I get something on it. It's, it's not going to hurt my feelings. But I would prefer not to. But if I do, I do. I'll just use a baby wipe, to wipe it off. It's just oxide, so it's not going to, stay forever. But I would prefer not to. Now, I'm at my new setup for the summer because the sun tends to blind me and you over at the other location that I was at. So what I need from you guys is I need you to tell me if you can see everything okay. And if you can't, you need to let me know and I can adjust things okay. And if the lighting is okay, because everything looks okay to me in my camera, but that doesn't mean that it looks okay to you. So if something looks off, you need to tell me, okay? If the lighting is bad, if you can't see something, please let me know and I can adjust it, okay? Alrighty, so let's get some stencils on here. And this is just one of my Tim Holtz stencils. It's from the Stampers Anonymous collection. Came in this package, and it's one of the layering stencils. And it is called Layering Stencil Grime. And the number is, oh, hold on, the label's right over the top of the number. It is one of my favorite stencils. That one and the big coffee blob are my favorite. And the number on this one is, we'll just do it that way, THS 130 is called Grime Layering Stencil. Right there, THS 130. So let's stick that back in there. Okay. I hope you guys are having a super duper day. And I know now that we've got our signatures in our book, here's what it looks like. It's not too bad. Yeah, she's not too chunky, which was kind of what I was going for. So these ephemera pieces that I'm putting in, I'm trying not to make them too big. Because I didn't want it too big and fat, which is, the opposite of what I usually do. Because, I was a little concerned about that spine. But if something happens to it, I'll just change it out. Not that big a deal. But I think I've given it enough support that it won't. Okay. So there we've added a little bit of schmuck to it. We've schmucked it up pretty good. So let's put that back in there. Ooh, I do like that. Open on the side. Look at that. You can just slide it in and out. I do like that. Okay. So I think I might be done with that, but we're going to see. So I think the next thing I want to do is I want to take my word stamp, and I just want to add, and I'm going to keep it in the same color, because I don't want this to, you know, to be really bright. Now I'm going to start out with, and this is just Vintage Photo, so I'm going to start out with the Vintage Photo, and then I probably will come back with some black on a different layer. But right now, I'm just keeping it as Vintage Photo. And then as another layer, I will probably do black. And I'm not doing everywhere. I'm just kind of bipping and bopping around, you know, all different directions. And it's not even all going in the same direction. So, there we go. I think I want to go up here. There we go. All right, so I'm done with that for right now. Now, I think I want to do, in some of my stamps I got out were this one. Oop, not that one. I don't want a pumpkin right now. Good heavens. Good gracious. I want to do some of this long one right here. And this one just came from Crafter Square, which for me is the Dollar Tree. I mean, is it Dollar Tree? Yes. Dollar Tree, or some people call it $1.50 store, $1.20. I don't know what you call it, but for me it's called the Dollar Tree in my local area. So that's what I call it. I don't know what it's called in your area, but in mine, the big old sign says Dollar Tree. Now, let me grab my stamp cube here. I need to move my cart back over. Hold on a second. I had to move it out of my foot range. Here we go. I'm going to put it on my big cube so I'm not getting it all over my hands. Actually, I want it up a little bit taller. Right there. I wish I had a smaller one, because I just want this top part. Like that. Now this I'll probably, maybe I do want to do this maybe in a darker color. Maybe I'll do this one in a darker color. Let's do this one in Scorched Timber. Let's see. Oh, I like that better. Oh, yeah, I like that much better. Much, much better. So let's bring this up here a little bit. Oh, yeah. Much, 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 much better. Okay, so over here. Now, it's too bad, you know, stamps you can't flip and flop around, because I would like it to go the other way around this paper. So I have to tell you what I did over my weekend. I'm not real sure. Oh, see, I did get it on the envelope part, or the plastic part, but I'm not going to worry about that right now, because I can take a baby wipe here in a minute and wipe that off. Now, I do like the Scorched Timber on that. It's still neutral, but, and I can keep that a little bit lighter down here. And I know it's looking a little busy, but that's okay, because I'm going to keep it light. There. It's looking a little busy. I know. Don't panic. Now, let me grab my baby wipes. Yeah, this new setup, I'm still searching. Because, you know, things aren't where they used to be. And that makes me a little crazy. Now, where are the silly things? They're like Oh, there they are. Because I want to get that wiped off there. I know when I moved over here, I moved everything within hand's reach. So. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, if you get it on this, you just take your baby wipe and you just very gently go over the plastic and it's gone. See? Just like that. Now, because this is oxide, I can come down here to the bottom and I can wet this a little bit. There. And I can activate that oxide. And it kind of, as it activates it, it kind of smudges it a little bit, which was kind of what I wanted. I don't want it real smudged, but I want it smudged a little bit. Okay, so let's get this wiped off. Now, I also have my butterflies, and up here, I want to put a butterfly, but I do want that in ink. I want it in ink. But I do want to get this wiped off before I put it back in there. And I'm just going to let it sit on this cube to dry. Okay, I'm done with that color. All right, you sit over here and dry for a minute. Just sit up there and dry. And I'll put you right there with it. Now, here's my butterflies. And they have lost some of their stickies. For some reason, they've lost some of their stickies. And I've done everything you're supposed to do with them. I've washed them. I've done everything that, you know, you're told to do with them. I've given them a soap and water bath. I've given them multiple soap and water baths. And as you can tell, they still float around in there. So anybody has a suggestion on how I can get my butterflies to get their sticky back? I know that sounds weird, doesn't it? I would appreciate that. Because I have lost this one several times and I have to go searching for it. And I don't know how to get them to stick again if they're not, you know, if the soap and water bath isn't working. Do I use a light sandpaper on the back of them or something? Am I doing something wrong? So I'm not sure what I've done wrong to them, but this little guy, he sticks on this just a smidge, but he doesn't stick anywhere else. But when I put him in here, he will stick on this plastic just for a little bit. So up here, I want to put one of these butterflies. This one is the prettiest butterfly of all of them. And I've only used him a couple times. But he is the prettiest butterfly of all of these when he's stamped. So I want to put him here on my cube. And I've never used him with ink before, as you can tell. So I want to wipe my fingerprints off of it here. Okay. Now, my journal, if you'll remember, let me open it up for you here. It's kind of it picked up kind of a vintage vibe. It was not on purpose. I didn't plan it that way. It just kind of did. But the colors are just kind of muted but so for my butterfly, I would like to give it kind of a pink stamp, or maybe like I have spun sugar, but I don't really think spun sugar is going to work on there. So I was thinking maybe yellow. I have scattered straw. Although purple is one of my favorite colors. Here, I have a paper towel. Let's maybe audition some colors and see what we like. And these are oxides. So we'll oxide a few of them and see what we like. Let's see, I don't like that green. And that's it. I don't think I'm going to like orange on there for this time of year. And seedless preserves. I do like that color. I think that's a really pretty color. All right, so let's try that one first. Here, I said I was going to use inks, and I got out my oxides. I just think they're really pretty colors. Okay. Now, let me wipe this off so it doesn't get... Now, let's see what that color looks like. Now, that's a pretty color, isn't it? Okay. That's the purple. Okay, so let's try the scattered straw. Let me dry that off. The purple's really pretty. The scattered straw is a little yellow. It's just I think a very faint yellow. There's the yellow. Now, if you put this up next to the yellow, I don't think the yellow. I think the yellow's too light. So I think we're going to put the yellow away. And I think that pink might be too light. I don't know, though. Maybe not. What's this other purple? Oh, wilted violet is a little bit brighter. All right, let's try spun sugar. That's a pretty pink. I thought I had a brighter pink. The other pink I have is a real pale pink. It's paler than this one. And this is the pink one. This is the spun sugar. Is this the other pink one? Oh, this is Kitsch Flamingo. That one might be a little bit better. Oh, yeah, see, that one's too pale, too. See, up against that, that's too pale. Let's try the Kitsch Flamingo. Yep, we might be getting out our, whoops. We might be getting out our little mementos, because I'm pretty sure my little mementos might have a brighter, oops, get off of there. I might have a, excuse me, let me grab a drink of water here. I might have a brighter pink in those. You know, I don't have a problem with bright colors. It's just, it's not what I'm looking for right now. All right, yellow, get down there. Yeah, the other pink is the Victorian Velvet, and it's just too, it's way lighter. All right, let's try this is the Kitsch Flamingo. Well, that's a little bit brighter. All right, let's see this pink. Oh, that's a lot brighter. Looky there. That would show up nicely. I still like the purple, I think. I still like the purple. So let's try the wilted violet. Let's see how it... But I do like that Kitsch Flamingo. That turned out nice. Let's try the wilted violet. Okay, those two so far. Now this one is really bright. I've used it on several things. It's a knock your socks off bright. It's the kind of purple I like. This one kind of reminds me of a red purple. This is purple. You know, like when you were a kid and you told your mom, I wanted a grape, you know, a grape popsicle. This is the grape you got. This is grape. Ooh, I like it. I think that's the color I'm going to go with. I don't know. What do we think? Yep, I like it. I like it. Okay. Come here, big guy. You're going to have a great big purple butterfly. You're going to make me happy when I see you. And I have a little one that's the same type of butterfly, but it's little. Okay, so I have to wipe that off in there. Boy, it's really soaking it up in here. So let's get this off here. There we go. Let's get that off in there. Now let's get this little one right here because it's the same butterfly, but it's just smaller. Let's wipe this one off. Okay, I think you're going to have a bath. I think I got purple ink down in there and I can't get it out. Oops, you need to dry off. There we go. All right, little guy. That's better. Okay. So let's get this purple off of here, down here. That's better. Okay. So now I have my purple. Nice. Now, I'm going to let this dry for a minute, and then on the back, I'm going to put a butterfly back here, too. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, I don't want to smear them. There. There's the butterfly. Okay. So now that's ready to go in my book. So now my little purple butterflies will have to have a bath. So let's put them together so I remember to do that. Okay. Well, that was fun. Now let's put our pinks back here together. All right, you guys need to straighten up here. You're not where you're supposed to be. And the purples go in here. Okay. Alrighty. Now, you guys need a bath. You can go in the trash. Alright, so let's get some of this stuff in here. Now, in here, make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. Okay, so in here, I have just a few other things that I want to add. And I do want to check up. See this? This is what happens when your glue runs. It catches right there. And what I did was I put rubber bands around this, and then the glue caught right there. It spread out and it caught on the paper. So I'm going to have to put some washi tape down here to reinforce that because it tore that. Let's check the back and see if it did the same thing back here. Okay, back here it did. Well, it did right there. So I'll put another piece of washi tape back here to reinforce that paper. But I think my spine is good and sturdy now because I added another piece of the, you know what it's called. This. You know what it's called. And then I added the cardstock. Then I added the hidden spine on top of that. So there are a lot of layers giving this old spine some support. And I didn't fix this. I left this as it was because that was why I chose the book. And I didn't fix this down here. That was, you know, those were the characteristics of the book that I liked. Now, I will trim this piece that's hanging out right here that I'm noticing right now because I don't want that catching on anything and pulling out. So I did add a few things in here, but I have a few more things I want to add. And I made some button cards. Now, these are easy to make. I had some button cards from some old buttons that came off of, you know, just my clothes that I purchased. And a button card off of clothes that you purchase or buttons that you buy in a store are just buttons that are actually sewed on a piece of cardstock. And they're sewed through the cardstock. So that was what I did with some buttons that I had. I just sewed them through the cardstock. Now these and these are vintage buttons. And I had already sewed the buttons. And then I think under here you can see I had already put the thread through the buttons. And then I glued them down onto this cardstock. Now this is just paper. This is paper on the back of a piece of cardstock. There you can see because I haven't trimmed it all the way. And then I punched a hole in the top and I inked around it. Now these are going to have to dry all the way before I can put them in the book. And that's what these are. These are just vintage buttons. They're this exact same button, but they're two different sizes. And you'll see if you go in stores like Walmart or Michael's, and I was going to say Joann's, but Joann's doesn't exist anymore, that when you go to buy buttons, sometimes you'll find that they'll have the same button, but they'll have two different sizes of the button. So I had the same button, but it was two different sizes, so I included it on there. So I also found in my stash just a replacement zipper pull, and I thought, oh, I'll just include that in there. And then, of course, we made this, so we're going to add that in there. And then we're going to add this in here, and I'm going to use, to add that, I'm going to use one of my sewing clips to add it in here. And, of course, I'm going to use a purple one. And I'm just going to clip it to the page. And I'm going to let this stick out the top. And then back here, you know, I've just added a few things in pockets. Okay, so this was the this was that other piece of that newspaper that that I saved. So I put that in there and I tucked it in that pocket, and I'm going to tuck that piece with it. And then in this, I was going to tuck this in there, but it is a little bit, it's a little bit too big. And this piece that's in here, this is a vintage button card here that buttons were on. So I just tucked it here behind the thread that I made into a little tuck spot right there. And my little zipper pull won't fit, so I'm just going to leave that just like it is. So I need something taller to go back here. I wonder if this would fit back there. No, it's too short. So I need to make a tag to go in here. These are our fabric swatches that we did. Let's see if our little zipper pull will fit back here with our little lady. It might fit back there. Ah, that'll fit there. Now this was the big, massive button card that we made with all the buttons stacked up. I finally got it in the book, and that was really a lot of fun to make. And then this page is just decorated. So let's see here. This is just that tuck spot that we made. Now, when one of these button cards are done, I'm probably going to put it in there. I'm trying to see what else we need to make here. And I've got someplace, I've lost them. Where did I just do with them? All of my ephemera that I had for this book. Oh, here it is right in front of my face. There's the other little button in jar that we did. I wanted to put something back in here. Maybe on one of these pages. Maybe something in here. Let's pull this out here and see what we have. Now that's too small. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think on this page here, I want to make another little tuck spot or like a belly band, I think is what I want to do. And originally, I wanted to use this on this page as a tuck spot, but when I got to playing with it, I noticed that if I glued down around here, it flopped up too much, so that didn't work. So I had thought about making something with a cluster, type of thing with it. And I just never got to complete it because I left to go and meet my grandson. And let me tell you, what a little grandson he is. He is 6 weeks old. Well, he's 7 weeks old today. And he is a little cutie pie. No, I don't think well, I do like that. Maybe with some scissors on it. And let's see. I wonder if that would work as a little, with that behind it. I wonder if that would work. Wonder what all we can create there. Let's see what we can create there. Holding things with one hand and trying to do this stuff with the other is not the easiest thing I think I've done. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me grab my glue here. Oh, yeah. Bessie is not going to be happy with me because I haven't used her in a week. So let's see if I can get her out here. Yeah, I haven't used my glue in a week. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's see if we can get her out. Come on, glue. Let's see if we just take this off, if we can get it out. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, so let's see. I think maybe if we put the dress up here, but then that covers up the sewing machine, doesn't it? Okay, so what else could we put there? You know what? Let's move these button cards. Well, that wasn't what I wanted. Let's put the button cards up here out of the way. Maybe something like this. Oh, now I do like that with the scissors. Oh, I like that much better. Okay, so let's put the scissors down. Okay, so we'll put the scissors down. Like that. Because they're not really going to do anything. And then, let's get this inked up here. Whoops, got the end of the scissors. Okay, now let's do the dress real quick. Okay, somebody yell at me and say, don't glue that down flat. But you know what? If I do, I do. It's not gonna end the world, is it? It's just paper. Okay. And then let's put it like that. So let's turn it over. And then under here, we're going to glue that down. And then down here at the foot, we need a little bit to make this all one piece. Like that. Okay. There. So now that can be a tuck spot from this side. So I think what I want to do then is I want to glue down the body of this, maybe like from the waistline and then across the bottom. But let's lift that up a little bit because of the scissors and maybe over a little bit. So we're going to go from the waistline of the dress down and over. So the waistline, we're going to go down. We're going to grab those little feet, make sure we come in here, and we're going to come over, and I do want to take it up a little bit. Now, let's spread that out a little bit. Make sure we get the feet of the dress stand, and then bring it over there. Now, when we place it, make sure those scissors, tip of those scissors are up. Okay. Now, the one place I think I did miss, no, that's okay. So now we have a nice little tuck spot right here, right in here, and it can go behind the dress and behind here, but it's going to stop at the waistline. It's going to, you know, this is, the whole dress isn't going to come up. So let's let that dry. Let me wipe off my fingers here. And let's get our glue flowing here. Okay, that one will work very nicely. There we go. Okay, now I don't think I'm going to need these for right now, so let's put those over there. Okay, so we need to let that dry before we can put anything in there. Now, this little lady over here, we can add her sewing box right here and a couple of really small buttons. And I have some really small buttons in my button box. Now, where did that? Here it is. In this little button box, I have some tiny little buttons that I have been saving because I kept saying, I know these little tiny buttons are going to come in handy someplace. And this is the place. And I'm thinking we're going to put some tiny little buttons in this little button box, in this little sewing box here. And we're also going to maybe put some little pieces of thread. So let's get some thread. There's some thread. There's the thread. Teeny tiny little buttons. And right there they are. There's one. There's one. Now, where'd the other one go? There it is. Right there. There's 2. And there's 3. I think that'll be enough. Okay. Now, let's get some thread. Let's just pull off some thread here. And cut this off like that. And let me kind of bunch this up here a little bit. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, let me pull this out here. Now, before I do anything, I want to show you what I'm thinking is. Now, they're just all different buttons. They're not even the same. As take this little thread here and put it in there, and then take these little buttons and place it in the thread like that inside the sewing box. So, let me get this inked here real quick. Let me grab hold of my ink. Or my oxide. Sorry, it's not ink. It's oxide. This is Vintage Photo. And it's oxide. And I want to make sure I get it in there. And I think I thought I saw. Okay. Someplace. A little needle. Not a real needle. I don't want to put a real needle in there because I'll rip my hands off. Now, I do have that little thimble symbol. How's that? And we can maybe cut off a little piece of this to put underneath it. I think that's too big. Okay, I think these are too big. Let's see. Okay, we don't need that. I thought I had. Now, I have the tape. We could even use the tape. Let's see here. I thought I had a little tiny... Okay, that one's too big, but we could put these behind it like that. The scissors, you know, behind it. Now, I have this one in the scissors. I wonder if how that one. No, I like that behind it better. I like that behind it better. Okay. Now, we could use a reel if we wanted. Oh, here it is. Let's see. Is that still too big? Yeah, I like that better behind it. Okay. Okay, so I think I like that. And we'll hide this maybe down in there like that. So you just kind of see it a little bit. And for the measuring tape, I'm thinking maybe we'll just cut a little piece of this off. No, I don't even think I like that. I like it the way it is. So let's get our glue. And let's get this assembled here. All right, let's put this down first. Let's get this down first here. All right, I want this here in the middle. All right, these come out. Now I need a blob here for this. Okay, so let's put that down. Okay, and now for our buttons. We're going to put our little tiny buttons in there. Come on, Get off my finger. Whoops. Come back here. Okay. There's our little buttons. Now, this attaching to this. All right, let's see here. Right here. Like that. Let me get my cereal bag here. Like that. And then the top piece. Up there. And then we'll turn it. Whoops. Pulled that button right off, didn't I? Okay. Come on, you guys. Still stuck to my finger. Like that. Now, let's take a look back here. Okay, so everything's attached as one piece. Like that. Now, we can attach this right here. Do we still want that as a tuck, or do we want to just glue it down? Needs to go up a little bit higher, though. Or do I want to put it over here, opposite her? I think I might. Do I want it opposite her? I need to leave that little button alone because I keep pulling it up. Well, that is a really good question. Okay, let me sit this over here to dry so that little button can dry. If we put it opposite her, what am I going to put in there? That is the question. What are we going to put there if we put it opposites? Maybe her spool of thread. Maybe her big button. And then we could just use this as the page decoration. Or this could even come back here. Oops. Yeah, I don't want it back here by the fabric. Or maybe back here. I think I like it back here on this. So I think I'm going to put it back here. Yeah, when it dries, we're going to put it back here. All right, so we're going to put that up there to dry, and then we'll put it back there. Okay. So back here, we don't have anything. So I'm glad we flipped back here. So I have in all my little ephemera pieces, I think I have some little pockets, you know, that we can fold up. And I don't normally do that. I normally make my own pockets out of things, which I think that's what I'm going to do. So I have this little, it's Bo Bunny. It came out of this, out of their Fairly family heirlooms collection paper. And oh gosh, this is from 2019. That's how long I've had it. And I just love this paper. And I think I'm going to use it to make some pockets back here. So just tearing off the top here. And somewhere is my little baby cutter that I'm going to use instead of dragging my big one up onto this mess. What's the time? Oh my goodness, look at the time. So this is be the last thing I do here. I'm going to cut myself a pocket. Okay. Okay. Where did I mark it? Oh, I didn't cut it short enough. Silly woman. Silly woman. Where's my mark? This thing is magnetic, and let me tell you, when it goes off, it goes off. I mean, it is stuck. It does not. It does not lift up. I don't think I still did it far enough. Nope. Okay. Do some corner rounding here. Okay, so I'm going to put this pocket down and keep working on my book. I hope you guys have a great day today, and I hope you get to work on your books too. And the next time I see you, I'll do a flip through of the sewing journal, and we'll be starting a new journal, a couple of them here shortly. But I wanted to wrap this book up before we did that. And, oh, I kind of like it right there too. I need to round those corners, don't I? Oop, did it upside down. And I hope you all have a super day. And I want to thank you again for joining me. And I hope that you come back. And I hope that you let your friends know that we're having some fun here on the Ladybug Journals. And I want to welcome all of our new subscribers. A great big ladybug flutter to you. And for all of my current subscribers that have been with me for so long, thank you. You guys just make my heart tingle. And I'm so glad that you're here with me. So, until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.